A haunted house, the faint light of a lantern to guide you through the dark corridors, and 7 ghosts with 7 stories to discover in The Seventh Guest, a VR reimagining of 90s puzzle game that returns to be rediscovered, allowing you to experience one of the most thrilling experiences of those years. Watch this video till the end because we are about to enter a haunted villa with ghosts. And I don't want to stay alone. Here's the review of The Seventh Guest VR, available from October 19th on Quest, PC VR and PSVR 2. Henry Strauss is a toy maker who invites 7 people to his villa to engage in a game full of puzzles to solve. Among the guests, you are the 7th. The story unfolds alongside the resolution of various puzzles distributed in each of the villa's rooms. The characters themselves tell the story, appearing as trapped ghosts, interacting only with each other, repeating the same action from the moment they entered the villa. The characters are represented to the player using a particular technique. The actors are not CGI creations, nor are 3D models. They are real people acting in front of a camera and then integrated into the game. This technique, which received critical acclaim at the time, remains impressive even today when viewed through the lens of those years. You must enter the various rooms of the villa, solve the puzzle inside them, and discover the stories of the different characters. Step by step, they will reveal the malicious intentions hidden behind the mad toy maker's invitation, in scenes more reminiscent of theater than cinema, creating a creepy atmosphere. I played the standalone version on Quest 3 and unfortunately I didn't have the chance to try the PC version. However, the visual impact is impressive since the moment you enter in the menu. Despite Quest's lower resolution textures and somewhat angular environment and models, the standalone headset's limited resources are effectively utilized, resulting in a smooth gameplay on Quest 3. There are no particularly realistic dynamic shadows or light effects, and the torchlight appears solid, although it's a magical lantern that reveals hidden details. Nevertheless, the environment and models are rich in detail, with surfaces showing scratches and dents. However, The Seventh Guest doesn't aim to impress with its graphic today. Instead, it's the gameplay that keeps your VR headset stick to your head. There are only few commands: move, open doors, collecting objects, and interact with the various puzzles. There's no running, no shooting, no action or stealth mechanics. The Seventh Guest VR is a throwback to an old-school point-and-click. It's an adventure game, where you need to analyze the environment in great details to find clues and solve puzzles. So, few mechanics but very well executed, with no hiccups or pretensions. The simplified gameplay ensures that the player do not get distracted by superficial interactions or other actions that diverge from the main objective, which is solving puzzles to uncover different parts of the story. The Seventh Guest VR is a kind of walking simulator that, in some way, reminded me of titles like The Vanishing of Ethan Carter or What Remains of Edith Finch. These are games where the discovery of the story is what matters, with the addition of excellent puzzle-solving elements that provide a balanced level of challenge. From the first seconds of the game, the Seventh Guest VR asks you to be an active participant, making you physically row on a boat through a swamp towards the villa's pier. The indoor environments of the villa sometimes seems to tower over you, as if you're looking through a curved lens that elongates everything upwards, making it appear larger. Of course, it's just a perceived distortion, but being inside a game of 30 years ago makes you feel small and disoriented, especially when combined with the mood the environments evoke in the player. There are no complete interactions. Doors don't open, but turning the knobs leads you into black screen and you find yourself directly into the next room. Most of the items that can be manipulated in the environment are no use, but this is not necessarily a disadvantage, because in VR games it's nice to manipulate and examine objects that serve no real purpose, and it's more immersive to pick up everything rather than seeing lots of items stick to the environment. In the original 93 release, the 7 Guests soundtrack was essential, as it helped the player to stay focused inside an interactive adventure. In VR, it's different, so that the environment didn't appear eerie or terrifying to me until I turned off the music, letting the sound effects do their work. The 7 Guests has a linear story with one ending, so replayability is known, considering also that there is only one way to solve puzzles. However, the duration is good, especially for a VR game, although it can vary based on the player's puzzle-solving skill. For me, just with a couple of hints and never getting stuck without knowing what to do, the game lasted about 6 hours. But having played the 93 chapter, I remember some things, such as the room layouts, even if the puzzle in the VR adaptation felt entirely new. And now it's time for my personal judgment. The 7 Guest VR is a pure nostalgia trip meeting VR innovation. It was great to relive memories for one of the most carefree period of my life. I was 10 in 93, and knowing that 30 years passed makes the decaying appearance of the villa more credible. The 7 Guests, it's not a true VR version, but a very well executed port of the 93 original game. The environment and the characters has been faithfully recreated using a technique that essentially took the original game and transformed into an interactive 360 degrees environment. It offers minimal interactions, an intense and mysterious story, a good level of challenge, and decent longevity. Among the positive aspects, there are a beautiful nostalgia effect, a puzzle difficulty that is not frustrating, and an engaging story that keeps player interest always high. On the downside, it's an old-school puzzle game, where hints are not generously provided. The graphics haven't been updated to our modern standards, and for younger players, this may not be a title capable of grabbing their attention. I leave you with some gameplay footage of the 7 Guest VR. Thanks for watching all the way through, like, share and keep following. That's all from Ben. See you soon, Riff Raff.
Stauf knows too much. The debts. But how?
Perhaps she wants to help us. Her heart's deepest desire.
What?
There!
What?
Don't you see? The blood!
There's nothing there. Eleanor! Eleanor! There's nothing. Eleanor, we have to win this prize money. Do you want to see me locked up by our creditors? Do you? Now, shape up, Eleanor. No more of your spells. Not today.
I just need a moment.